Hi everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to Moscow, and welcome to a day of sport. Now I'm actually here at Luzhniki Fields, and right behind me is the Olympic walk. But I'm going to go and show you today some rugby. The actual stadium or the field is only about 5 minutes walk from here, so I thought I'd start the video right here. We're going to check out some Russian rugby right here in Moscow. Today is also the 1st of June and the first day of summer in Russia, and the Olympic cauldron right here is really in honor of the 1980 Summer Olympics that were here in Moscow, the main stadium where they had the athletics, and the opening and closing ceremony was held there. Also, there is some other stadiums nearby where they had some of the other events. I think the gymnastics was here as well. And this is the Olympic walk that they've created in honor of that. And it is very nice. It's a beautiful day today here in Moscow. Today is also Moscow's Day of Sport as well. So it's a bit of a double celebration. And there is rugby going on. There will be football later on tonight as well. The final of the Russia Cup is going to be held at the stadium. And there is a lot of events today specially for it. And then check this out. This is Misha, who was the mascot for the Olympics. And they've got a sculpture right here, specially dedicated to Misha. And as I'm walking around, literally every person goes and takes a photo because it's so symbolic of Moscow and the Olympics. And the gardens here, you could literally come to Luzhniki Fields and not even play sport and still be inspired by this place. It's such a beautiful place to come for a walk. The embankment of the Moscow River is about 5 minutes down the street at the end of this boulevard right here. Let's go check out the rugby. For anybody wondering, rugby isn't a very popular sport here in Russia. The number one sport is football, I think followed by ice hockey. I'm not sure what is third place, but Russia is very well known for a lot of winter sports and of course summer sports like gymnastics. We've also got some very good tennis players, and I think there isn't a sport that Russia hasn't won a summer or winter medal for. And Russian rugby has been around for a lot of years, but it's still a relatively new sport to a lot of people who want to go and see different live sport here in Russia. So I thought it'd be really interesting to show you this and also introduce you to rugby here in Russia. This might give you a little bit of an idea of the amount of sporting complexes and fields and stadiums that they've got here. Also, there is a swimming center, ice palace, tennis center, and we're going over here to field number 10, which is really off in the corner. The main Olympic Stadium is right here, and then the actual Moscow River wraps around the whole area. Really quite an amazing place to come to. I've just realized I've actually come in the back entrance to the stadium, and I actually have been here before and I got completely lost finding the field number 10, and today I found it by mistake. So this is actually the opposite side of the field, or generally where the away fans sit. However, this is much more family friendly. It's not quite like that. You can see Moscow City off in the background. How good does that look from this angle? And then it looks like today the main sport channel in Moscow is covering it. It's called Match TV. They've got all of their gear set up. We are here a little bit early, so I'm going to go for a bit of a walk around and get up close and personal, or as close as I can get. I did actually make a previous video going to see rugby here in Moscow, but it was a different stadium. That was Slava Moscow Stadium. And this particular location here is where Dynamo have their home ground. And this is the actual facility that they use for playing their home games here in Russia. And of course, they travel to other cities for the away games. As I come around to the back section of the grandstand, we can already get an idea that we're here at a Dynamo match. And everything gets set up in the morning. And then the actual grandstand right here on the right-hand side. I will say this a few times. It's a little bit more toned down from coming to a Russian football match. It's very family orientated, kids, parents, and a lot of like-minded sports fans who, regardless of the outcome, they just enjoy rugby. And that's the main thing. They do actually have a burger stand right outside, and the Pepsi that's not got the Pepsi label on it is available. A lot of people that come to live sport in Russia, it's not really about coming and eating and drinking, it's really about watching the game. So I'm joined here by a rugby fan. Now let me know what your name is.
Alexander.
Okay, and who are you here to support today?
Today we support Dynamo.
Dynamo, okay, which is the home team. But this is not your actual team that you support. You support another team. You told me that you support Spartak, right?
I played in Spartak.
You played for Spartak?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I was young.
Much younger and much fitter. Now, today, can you tell me who you think will win the match? What do you think the outcome might be?
Of course, Dynamo.
Dynamo?
Of course.
Score predictions? You're not sure? Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Little.
Thank you, Alexander.
Maybe 3, maybe 5.
Okay, points. Difference.
Да.
Okay, thank you, Alexander. You're amazing. One of the unique things with the surrounding areas of Luzhniki Stadium is all of these tennis courts. And of course, right now, as I'm filming this, we're on the end of the first week of the French Open. And they've got clay tennis courts here in Moscow, which is something you probably wouldn't think of in your head considering winter time, but they've actually got all 4 surfaces that you can play on here at the one place. I found one more fan to ask questions to, and what's your name?
My name is Igor.
Igor, now you're a fan of rugby.
Yeah, I am.
Now, do you have a favorite team?
Well, my favorite rugby team, Russian rugby team, is Strela Akbars. But of these two, I support more Dynamo.
Oh, okay. So I think most of the crowd today will be Dynamo fans. Now, do you have a prediction about the match? Who might win?
I think Dynamo will win this. I think they will score around more than 30 points.
Oh, okay. That's really amazing. And beautiful day today as well, right?
It's very sunny.
Yeah, and today is the first day of summer. So I think we're all smiling and happy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Igor.
Thank you.
There's a small merchandise stand. I think actually this is a company that sells the merchandise for all of the different teams here in Russia. Of course, the Dynamo merchandise will be more popular today. I'm not too sure how many fans will be from the away team, but they've also got some jerseys for the Russian Rugby Federation as well, which is pretty cool. And somebody from Dynamo right here, very happy. It's a little bit closer to match time and a few more people have turned up now. It's a little bit closer to the start of the game now, and we can perhaps see from everybody's clothing there is a lot of Dynamo fans. Springboks, I'm from Australia.
Yeah, we know.
And you're saying Springboks, that's South Africa. Australia is the Wallabies. Yeah, like small kangaroos, the Wallabies.
Understand.
So, yeah, you can see lots of people in blue colored attire, which is the colors of Dynamo. Lots of people just hanging out. Again, it's a beautiful day today. A little bit of clouds I think we won't get any rain, but it's a great day for sport. I'm a little bit fortunate making this video that I have a little bit of behind the scenes access, and we can go through to the field this way. Very nice ladies here. There is a lot of very friendly people when you come to the rugby. Now the actual underneath of the grandstand here are different change rooms and meeting places. I'm fairly sure that's where the officials are, or the umpires. And then if I spin around, this is the actual change rooms for the two different teams, just off in the distance there. The only thing that I don't always love about coming to events is the music and how loud it is. However, you've got to create a bit of atmosphere and a bit of feeling, and I think the easiest way to do that is pump some tunes. Of course, YouTube doesn't love it that much. So this is the Pari Rugby Cup, the match that we're actually going to see today. And this is the branding of the football that's involved. They're actually doing some practicing right now. So actually, over here is the Krasny Yar guys coming off, and they're going to go in and get suited up and get ready to come out for the match. They've done their practicing, and the guys are already hot and sweaty because it's a warm day. Yeah. So the last two guys that were just walking into the change rooms for Krasny Yar are actually South African players, and it's really just so interesting because I feel a bit starstruck when the players themselves are saying hello to me and greeting me, and I'm just an Australian guy who lives here in Moscow, who gets given these opportunities to make content for you and to come out to sporting events and different things. And YouTube has afforded this of me and everybody watching at the same time. So thank you for letting this happen. Sometimes it's not as easy as it looks to just walk into a stadium and start filming, because there's a lot going in the background that has to happen. But simply by watching the videos, it lets me get this chance to make this kind of content. If you might have watched my previous rugby video, you might remember, of course, the stadium was much smaller, the seating area was much smaller, they don't have the grandstand like you have here. And there was a particular lady that's holding this flag that was screaming for Krasny Yar the whole match. And she's back here again, and she was just so passionate for her team that day. And I'm just so happy to see her back here. I think possibly she might live in Moscow, and you know, to come and support her home team as an away fan basically is so nice to see. It's currently 15 minutes before kickoff, and the Dynamo players are heading off to the change rooms as well. And I'm here at the touchline, or the back of the field. Now, the one thing that's very difficult to do when you're trying to cover live sport is to catch some of the action. And I will do my best and see if I can catch a try at one end of the field. The difference here, of course, it's very large to be able to get down from one end to the other to cover it. But I'll see what we can do. So for the away fans and the home fans, they're really all in the same grandstand together. I don't think there'll be too many people sitting on the opposite side of the field where I first walked in. This is actually a little bit easy to sit over here because it's shaded as well. And here is the Dynamo supporters. So of course, rugby fans, but you will actually get people who are just Dynamo supporters across all the different codes of sport. There's actually a guy up there with the drum as well. So they're getting ready. The actual capacity of the stadium is about 3,000, I think. Now today, I don't think it'll get to full capacity because there is a lot of other sport going on today as well. So really the truly dedicated rugby fans are the ones that you'll be seeing coming to watch the match. And we're not far from Kickoff. This is the away team's dugout. I think I'm the worst weather forecaster ever because the clouds are rolling in, and I just noticed also they've got the lights on as well. So perhaps we might get a few spots of rain. Yesterday I came out and wore a jacket all day and it was beautiful. Today I'm in short sleeves and possibly rain now. Part of the access that I have, I can walk essentially anywhere I like to make the videos. There is a couple of exceptions, and for the start of the match I can go out onto the pitch. However, as a fan, I'm not sure how everybody feels about this. To walk across that line, I think you have to earn the ability and respect to be able to walk out there no matter what sport it is. And I feel hesitant to cross the white line like the photographers are doing here. Now the actual players will come out from the tunnel shortly and have a introduction. But should I cross this line or not? And here come the players for Krasny Yar, all ready and kitted up. And I think perhaps one of their trainers. And then out comes the Dynamo guys. And they and they're ready, really. The match ball right there. And then the start of the match, literally minutes away. I just want to point out something quite interesting, and I'm not sure if it's just in Russian rugby or perhaps just the coach for Dynamo, but they actually do their coaching from up in the grandstand up here, and then they radio down to the runners and water boys right here, and they can get a better idea of the actual pitch and the layout of the players from both teams from up in the grandstand. Some coaches like to coach from the actual sidelines, but the Dynamo one loves to do it from up in the stands. My one goal of the match is to catch a try, regardless of if it's the home team Dynamo or if it's Krasny Yar. And will I see them come into the corner here? Okay, not this time. I think every time I'm going to move, the play will be at the other end of the field or going in the other direction. No worries though. Now I thought I'd come down to the scoring end for Dynamo. I've just missed the previous try, and let's see if there's going to be some action at this end of the field as we look back on the players. You get a great view of the grandstand from here as well, and those dark clouds that are hovering over us. It's actually a nice day though. I know I'm going to talk about it, but it's really very nice. There is actually a penalty kick for Dynamo, and we might see this go straight through the middle here. Let's see. On its way, and the goal is scored. The last time that I made a video, I was at the scoring end for Dynamo, and the reserve players came out to warm up, like what's happening right now. And there was actually a goal scored right in front of me. So hopefully this is good luck for the Dynamo team. Are these called down-downs? I'm not sure if that's the name of them or not. Anyone let me know? Maybe in rugby they have different training techniques, perhaps to other sports. So the hope is there's going to be a try coming up very soon, because the Dynamo reserve players, I think, are a good omen. Have a look at the backdrop. Here we go! Here we go! We're going to catch it again! Wow! Again! That's amazing! Really and truly. Wow. Wow. And the Dynamo fans are super happy. Wow. Maybe we might see one more try. Very possibly. At this end, let's see. Okay, out wide. Oh, the spin move. And I think it's a penalty. Possibly one more chance for a try. Now, of course, I could record every one of these and end up with lots of files that don't end up in the match or in the final video. It's really interesting, the player dynamic, because there is Russian players, of course, who know the Russian language. There is the South African players who know Afrikaans, and they'll probably know some Russian as well. And then there is also some players from Georgia also. So there's a third language. Will it happen in the corner? And we'll not catch it at this end. And what's very interesting with the coach, when they're radioing down to the sideline, they're doing it in Russian and in English. Out wide. Let's see. Oh, great pickup. This guy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Come on, давай, давай. Oh! Wow. I think the Krasny Yar guys not so happy, but for the Dynamo fans, celebration. I was trying to avoid the flashing on the screen. The video board is not flashing when I'm looking at it. And just before half-time, Dynamo is leading 24-17. And two of those tries I caught on camera, which I'm so happy about. I'm not too sure who is the singer at half-time. However, he's singing some songs which are the Dynamo fan songs. So lots of people singing along to him at the same time. This is really neat. Huh. Not something I was expecting at the rugby, but very cool. And all the fans up there, very happy. What more could you ask for? Sunday, a bit of sun, and a bit of live sport. As the whistle is about to go off for the start of the second half, I just thought I'd point out something quite interesting, and I noticed this just a few minutes ago. The assistant referee, or I think perhaps it's a reserve referee, is a lady right here. And I don't imagine there's a lot of females that are in the refereeing positions in rugby. If anybody knows more than I do about that, it'll be super interesting. But she's very attentive for the game. She's got the headset on and she's making sure everything is correct here on the sidelines. So there's about 4 minutes to go in the second half, and Dynamo is now behind by 3 points, and they're actually defending a possible try here from Krasny Yar. Let's see, they're gonna kick for the sideline here. And this could be critical now. If they score a try with a few minutes to go, it could be over. They also, the weather and the rain has started as well. The stadium lights are flickering. I need to change my settings. The fans are still here though and still dedicated. What's going to happen? So I think the one good thing with this stadium and the fact that the grandstand is set back from the field is everybody here is out of the rain and under cover. And then for the few fans that are on the far side, they're really the hardy fans who are sticking it out with this rain falling. It's not really that much rain, but we've had at least 3 of the 4 seasons today here at the match. Of course, I am a content creator, or a journalist as some people call me, so I've really got to be independent of both teams. However, recently I've been attending the Dynamo football matches and now the rugby, so I'm slowly becoming a Dynamo fan, I think. But I think I have to still remain neutral when I'm watching, and when they're losing by 3 points, it makes me a little bit nervous. So the full-time whistle has gone off, and there was a late try and conversion, and the final score was 42-34, and the players from Krasny Yar have come over to their fans, and the lady that was screaming for the whole match, she is so happy, and it's really cool for them, especially as the away team. I mean, it's not an easy trip, 4,000 kilometers to Moscow. Well done. So the players really great job. And then I think one of the coaches is still having a word with the player, but no worries. So the players are having a huddle, and they've sent their coach away because it's just the players. There we go. Coach looks pretty happy though. And the away fans, I think a lot probably do live in Moscow, but I'm wondering if somebody did travel here, maybe some family of the players perhaps. Very interesting. We have to catch the Dynamo players doing their chant. even in defeat, the right thing to do is come over to the fans and commiserate together and show support to the people that came. Oh, they're throwing some balls out as well, which is pretty cool. Oh. There we go. Everyone stuck around for the end. Oh, balls everywhere. Very nice. And this really is a testament to the players, to the coaches, to the fans, how they handle themselves on and off the pitch. And of course, Dynamo being the home team and losing, it's not great, but it's good for sport as a whole to come to a match and to show you what Russian rugby is like, and I hope it was interesting. At the end of the match, quite a lot of the players are hanging around for some interviews with the media and the different press that's here, and for television as well. And then some fans have come down. I think either fans or family perhaps of the players. Of course, at the end of the match, the players from both teams know each other, and you know, it's a very social sport. I don't think it's nearly as serious as perhaps what football players think football matches are. You know, of course, when you lose, it's not good, but you know, take it on the chin, and there's always another day. I just want to point out something after the match. Now, this is back outside the actual stadium itself, and some of the players from Krasny Yar come out, and I think actually to meet their fans and some selfies. And then I think over here there might be one of the Dynamo players also. Let's check. Yeah, so the young guys over here want to get their football signed and their shirts, and then all the young girls want photos with the players. And does this happen in regular sports? Would it happen in football? Would it happen in other sports around the world, where they literally come out from the change rooms, they're still in their full gear, he's still got his football boots on, and be so accommodating to the fans? I think this must be only in rugby that I understand, because going to other sport you don't see this, and it's just so nice to see. Another one of the players is here signing pretty much anything that the kids will give him, which is really nice. He's got two different sizes of pens. They want him to sign their match lanyard as well, and really nice. The guys with him talking about rugby, I would imagine they're playing in a local team here. And also the coach is here as well. I think he's with his wife and kids. Now, although we've actually met a couple of times, I'm still a bit starstruck to go over there and say hello. So I'll just leave it as it is. It's really amazing that I'm like this, but that's just the love of sport. I was going to do the ending of the video right at the exit from the stadium, but because of the rain, the tennis courts were all wet, and there's a guy there with an industrial hairdryer drying all the courts for people to play tennis this afternoon. Have a look at the view of Moscow city. There is one of the boats going by. This is really interesting. This is one of the older ones, and it's advertising 99 ruble river cruises, which is pretty much $1 US. And I have done a video on one of them, and I think I might have to do another one because they're really fun. It's not an amazing boat to go on, but for 100 rubles, the best money you can spend going on the Moscow River. So this is the embankment here that leads around to the Moscow State University. And then if you keep walking for about an hour, you end up at Gorky Park. So I thought I'd come down here to end my video. Lots of people going for walks And have a look, the sun is out again and it's beautiful. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and a bit of an insight into Russian rugby, and to see a little bit behind the scenes. Really, the difference between the access that I had today and somebody sitting in the grandstand isn't a whole lot different. Perhaps I was just a little bit closer. And I really want to thank Tanya from the Dynamo Rugby Club for allowing me to get access and come and make a video. And actually, I also met quite a few of the players from Krasny Yar and from Dynamo who watched my previous video. And I think there just isn't a lot of coverage on YouTube of Russian rugby. So to the players, thank you as well for being so kind and complimentary of my channel. And I come to watch you and you're watching me, and that's just, again, I shake my head that the reach of my channel beyond people who are subscribers like yourself and people around the world. I love to see in the comments when people put where they're from, and I think it's just interesting and fascinating. I can't even come up with the words. The game, well, Dynamo didn't win. So this was a Russia Cup match. So this was a knockout match and the quarterfinals. So of course Krasny Yar go forward. I'll have to check the schedule if there is going to be another Moscow team that might make the semi-finals and then final. To see if I can attend one of those matches. And am I becoming a Dynamo fan, or should I stay independent and just make videos for the love of sport? I think there's definitely a bit more excitement when your team wins. You could see that on the coaching staff and on the players. And at the end there, the Dynamo coach was very quiet, and I was hesitant to go over to say hello to him because we'd met before. So I'm actually at home right now and I'm just putting the video together, and I somehow filmed the last part of the video without pressing record. And I'm not sure how I missed that last clip. So I thought I'd just tack it on the end right here. And it's a little bit echoey from my balcony here. Nice view out the behind me. If you want to follow me on Telegram, there's a link right here. I post a lot of things when I'm not filming, like particularly on days when I'm at home or I'm out somewhere else. And then if you want to watch an old video on the channel, maybe you want to check out something from my town, I'll put a link to a video right here, and you can keep traveling with Russell. Okay, everybody, I'm off on another adventure. Bye.